Greetings from Green River, Utah. It's day 3 of our 2,500 mile trip to Breckenridge, Colorado to participate in the High Country Tour. Departing Green River, we continued east on I-70 to the Utah-Colorado border, then continued on to Grand Junction where we left I-70 for Highway 50 down to Delta to Mount Rose, and then we overnighted in Gunnison. Well, we have made it to Colorado. We're 800 miles thereabouts from Reno, and we are now entering Colorado. This is a new state for this car, and it's also a new state for me in a Model A. I've never been in a Model A in the state of Colorado before. So we are going to challenge the Rockies in a Model A Ford. So far, the car's been running great. We lost a nut that holds the alternator on, and the alternator was flopping around like a fish on hot cement. We just got assistance running to the nearby hardware store, got a new bolt and nut, and we will be back on the road in just a few minutes. I want to give a sincere thank you to Mr. Jeff Cummins. He was kind enough to see us broke down on the side of the road, turn around and come and check on us. And then he was nice enough to drive me the 5 miles back into town to the nearest hardware store where we could get the bolt and nut we needed to fix our alternator. Thank you very much, Mr. Cummins. You were a lifesaver. Literally just a minute or two after Mr. Cummings left, Mr. Danny Nicholas stopped to see if we needed any assistance. There really are a lot of kind people in this world who are generous with their time. Thank you, Mr. Nicholas, for checking on us. We greatly appreciate it. Stock or hot rod? It's hot rod. Yeah, they've got real people in it. Well, we made it to the top of Blue Mesa Pass, which is the high point climbing up out of Mount Rose to the town of Gunnison. So it should be fairly level from this point on. Making good time. Beautiful scenery. There's a pretty serious road reconstruction project on Highway 50 between Mount Rose and Gunnison. The pavement has been stripped off for several miles and the road base is just compacted gravel. I was very nervous driving through here because there was a lot of semi-truck traffic and they weren't going all that slow. I was very fearful that we could be showered with gravel, and the expensive paint job on this car and gravel do not mix. I was very relieved when I saw the pavement starting up again. I know this car spent the majority of its life on gravel and dirt roads, but for this particular car, those days are pretty much over. On Highway 50, about 20 miles short of Gunnison. Beautiful lake, I don't know what the name of it is. Blue Mesa Reservoir, Highway After climbing up a pretty good summit, we're on top of Blue Mesa. The Blue Mesa Reservoir behind us. We've been driving along this reservoir for about 8 or 10 miles. Pretty good sized reservoir, and it's pretty much full, and you can't beat the scenery.
This is John.
Future Model A owner.
Hopefully. I'm going up to Wyotech later this year to study mechanics, and they've got a Model T up there that the class teachers work on. So I'm excited.
Yeah, they're actually very easy to work on.
Oh,
They're great to learn how to.
Oh yeah.
Because they're so basic.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And honestly, they're not that expensive.
No.
You can pick one of these up in decent condition for $8,000 to $10,000, especially if you're mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
Mark yourself.
I'm trying to find one. There's back behind the ranch.
We got off I-70 in Grand Junction because I didn't want to be on the freeway climbing up to the Continental Divide. But also I have a cousin who lives in Gunnison, and it had been far too many years since we'd seen each other. This was the perfect opportunity to reconnect.
Okay. I rode a truckie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're going to be on my YouTube channel.
Should have combed your hair.
You look good.
He's got the good hair. His hair is like fiber optic. And when the light hits it, the ends of it light up. It's really pretty cool. He's like a peacock. Little blonde peacock.
Very handsome. Love you.
For anyone who might be wondering why my wife never appears in these videos, this is literally every photo I've taken of her over the last 20 years. We had a great time in Gunnison catching up with family, but it was time to move on to Breckenridge because the high country tour was getting underway.